Hi, welcome to this pre-record Tai Chi video. There are times when we just want to practice our own, what we're working with, and there are times when it's just nice to follow the teacher or the instruction. So for this hour, I'm going to give you a progressive practice to help you just settle into. It's a recording you can keep anytime and play whenever you need. Just a little bit of help or inspiration or guidance with your practice. So let's go. We always start with settling down. Primarily the body and the musculature of the body, and also the quality of the mind. So the beginning of the practice is to settle yourself inside yourself, to experience your being. The methodology is first find the ground, find the quality of the feet as they touch the ground. Bring the weight to the center of the foot. Make sure you feel the bubbling well, which is just behind the ball of the foot, the heel of the foot, and do what you can to open up the knees to engage the outer side, the outer edge of the foot. This creates the base. Feel the padded quality of the feet. Feel the feet supporting you. Let the feet be. Feel like the muscles are molten and the ground is opening up underneath you to receive your body's weight. Now we want to arrange the body so we lift the sternum. This distance expands and we feel the upper back straightening. One of the curves in the back begins to straighten. We drop the chin as if we're holding a ball of socks under the chin, lightly, and this changes one of the curves in the back of the neck and raises the crown of the head. We bring the body so it's upright over the center of the feet. We listen for the relationship of the head top to the ground. The next part of the exercise, really important, is to the quality of softening on the inside. You have to really make sure that when you soften, you don't change your shape. What changes is inside the body, and it feels like the ground opens up under your feet as an image to help you soften the muscles. Another image is that the head top is suspended and the body is hanging from the head top, long in the tail, as if there's a weight on the tail. What we want to happen is the leg muscles to soften, the muscles to disengage from their holding on the bones, and the body to settle into alignment. With it, the mind is settling into awareness of the body sensations. And as you feel the muscles soften, you'll feel things move in the body. You'll feel things move and you'll feel your balance shift, and you make adjustments, constantly shifting and changing. Small movements, constantly realigning your weight and the sinking feeling to the center of the feet. You may have to work on individual parts of the body where you notice holding on. But globally and overall, you want everything to soften together. We say you come to stillness, but it's not a stillness because there's constant change and shifts of balance, of muscles that begin to tighten, and as soon as they tighten, you soften them. And there's a lot going on inside. And yet, from the outside, it looks quiet and still. So we settle. and we experience those small changes, and our mind and our body come together. It's the beginning of the practice. Now, all that can be done in a finger snap once you get used to the sensation of what you're looking for and a very strong intention just to walk to your practice place and instantly put yourself into the posture. Maybe it takes a few seconds for the muscles to change. But what we want to do is get that happening quickly. We know what we want to achieve. We don't have to go through all the learning processes. We just simply go to the feeling and the sensations. And then in this exercise, in the standing posture, we'll do the up and down movements. The knees bend outwards towards the toes and the body goes down. The back of the knees open up and the body lifts. This is the only physical movement in the exercise. The knees change and the knees go back. I'm going down about an inch and I'm coming up about an inch. Now, in that process, I don't just want to be a lump that's going up and down like evening all, like a policeman, evening all. I don't want to do that one. I want to make sure that my muscles are softening and changing on the inside at the same time. And in fact, it's those muscles changing on the inside that cause the movement. So I want to engage with the process of change that enables me to move. To come up, bring the mind up through the body, have an intention to lift, and have an intention to engage the muscles that cause me to lift. There are subtler ways of doing it. This is a simple way of doing it. When you go down, you soften the muscles. When you come up, a small push onto the ground. Nice and slow, about 3 seconds down. 1, 2, 3, and 3 seconds up. Now, what are the things we're looking for? Because you could get quite bored just going up and down. We introduce a quality and reference points for us to work with. Keep the weight in the center of the feet while you're moving down and up. Make sure your center of gravity isn't coming forwards or backwards. You're not leaning. You're going straight down. The knees are bending. You're coming straight up. Okay, this is like a lift in a lift shaft. The shaft stays where it is and the lift goes up and down. The shaft doesn't move. My body, my structure is like the shaft, my upright posture. What changes is the muscles around the bones. When I go down, a few joints have to change also. The ankles have to bend, the knees have to bend, the hips have to fold, and the lower back has to release. So we can work on these either one at a time or globally feel all the whole joints change together, depending on your level of practice. So we'll start with the ankles. Make sure that your awareness is in the sensation in the ankles. As you begin to soften the thighs and put yourself into a lowering position, feel what's going on in the ankles. Feel the ankles. When you push against the ground, slowly raise yourself. Feel what's happening in the ankles. The feet want to feel quiet on the ground, receiving. They don't want to feel like they're tight. The toes don't want to feel bunched. The muscles in the feet want to allow the foot to spread. Likewise, in the ankle, where the shin comes down on top of the ankle, the tendons here don't want to be twitching. The movement is smooth and steady and allows the weight to pass through into the feet and into the ground, both down and borrowing from the ground, borrowing the support from the ground on the way up, into the ground on the way down, and borrowing the support from the ground on the way up. The body doesn't tighten. It just simply moves against the ground. Doesn't tighten and move against itself. When we tighten the muscles, we create stability that then the body pushes against itself. We don't want that. We want the force to go right through. So we concentrate on the ankles and the feet. More experience with Tai Chi, and you can concentrate on the knees and the ankles at the same time. So as the ankles soften, the knees soften, and you feel the support of the ground coming up to the level of the knees. It's like I'm sitting down. You know, those kneeling chairs that you get where you rest your body weight through the knee into the chair. The chair supports you. The chair gives you the stability. When my shin feels like it's connected to the ground through my soft foot, through my soft ankle, pressing in, it feels like the support is in my knees. It feels like the level of the ground rises to my knees. This is the feeling I want on a simple level. There are further levels, but to begin with, just to get stability into the knees. I would suggest training for a while until that feels comfortable, until you can do that without having to think about it. As you let go, your knees feel, even though they're moving, they feel stable. Even though they're drawing in, they feel stable. Next, we want to work on the hip joints, the qua. In Chinese, the qua, the inguinal region, these two here. As you go down, as the knees open up, the thighs change their angle. This joint here has to change, because if it doesn't change and the thighs change, I'm going to start leaning backwards. If the thighs go to a different angle as the knees go out and this doesn't change, my back moves with it and I start moving with my, what I want to do is soften here so that my thighs can disappear and the upper body comes straight down. Remember that lift shaft I was talking about? So when you have the awareness that deepens, you can feel the feet, you can feel the ankles, you can feel the knees, you can feel the hip joints. They're all changing together. The classics of Tai Chi say, when one part changes, everything changes. This is what we're working towards. But because that's difficult to do everything at the same time, for a simple human being to do everything at the same time is difficult. What we have to do is get into the mind state where we can feel much more. If we're blinkered or concentrated, really, really good for doing certain types of work, really good and necessary. But for other things, we need a much wider, broader quality of awareness. And this is the mind state we're trying to place ourselves into and get familiar with, because it's available any moment we want it. It's always available. It's just that if we switch on to a blinkered state or a busy state, we miss the fact that there's this quality there at the same time. It overrides it. It becomes hidden. like a layer underneath. And what we want to do is expose that layer of awareness and let it be there. We don't have to find it. It's already present. Our quality of being with our body is already present. All we have to do is get enough out of the way to let it reveal itself. So Tai Chi is more about getting out of the way and learning how we get in the way, how we obstruct ourselves, how we rush, how we push ourselves through, and how we obscure the quality of our being that's always present. It's a really important philosophical, or philosophical is a bit too heady. It's a really important quality of our being, practice and being, that we are present the whole time, only if we recognized it. So with that, we feel, we experience, and we soften. All we can do with muscles, two things. We can either relax the muscle or we can contract the muscle. In our ability to do anything, we either soften the muscle and it changes, or we contract the muscle and it changes. The result is movement. So we soften. In that change, we have to organize the forces that stabilize us. We have to organize the body. Because if we soften, we'll collapse. If we stay rigid, we don't move. Can you see how Tai Chi finds this balance, beautiful balance between things? Releasing, changing, and in the process of changing, reorganizing, creating a new structure that supports itself. Down and up. Down. And before you get stopped and locked onto the ground with a really strong pressure, you start the lifting process. We don't want the body to land on the ground with a really strong drop. Even a slow drop, we don't want it to land on the ground. Because if we're doing, let's put it a simple way, when we land on the ground, for a moment at that point of landing, we're locked. When we're locked, we're not doing Tai Chi. When we're locked, we're doing something else. Tai Chi is about always having fluidity, always being able to change and not being in a state where we are at the mercy of our heldness, at the mercy of our patterning of holding on. So we don't want to practice getting to a place where we feel so strong and stable that we're locked. This practice will help us. This up and down will help us. Up and down. We also call this exercise open and close. When we go down, there's a quality of letting go of the muscles and a quality of opening. This distance here opens. Open. When we come up, like my body's squeezing itself thinner, and this draws in, this distance draws in. It's not that I push out and push in, it's that if you think about a beach ball going against the ground, the beach ball has to expand. When the squash beach ball comes up, it gets thinner. You can think about these analogies with your body. as you move. In order for the body to widen, the muscles have to fall off the bones. The muscles that are held onto the bones for attachment and support and control of the bone, the muscles, remember the muscles control the movement of the bones, they need to loosen their grip on the bones. Then the bones can realign and reorganize without the muscles holding them steady. So that looseness of the muscles, one of the things we can do is change the quality of the muscle with our intention, and our awareness picks up the result of that change. We feel our bones able to realign. The degree to which we can let go of the muscles, the degree to which we can soften the tissue of the body that hold on to the muscles, is the degree to which we can realign. Because when the muscles hold the bones in place, they can't move. So how can they get into the right alignment if they're being held out of place? So softening in Tai Chi is not to be relaxed. I'm going to say that again. Softening in Tai Chi is not to be relaxed. Softening in Tai Chi is to allow a whole new structure to emerge. It's also to bring the mind and body into connection with ourselves, from which we can be in connection with our partner when we do partner work. So the up and down exercise. I may wish to what we call micromanage, which is focus on one part of the body, the ankles or the feet. And really, really fully notice what's going on. That can change over weeks or months to the knees, to the hips, to the lower back opening. Or I may wish to focus on everything at the same time, which includes the head top, its relationship to the ground. If you imagine a bit of wool that's been knitted and you unpick it, it's wiggly. It's got the memory of the pattern that was in the wool. And if you hang that piece of wool, it's wiggly. Hang it from a thread. That's like the head top. That's like my body. It's wiggly. If I just lightly pull it from the bottom, if I extend the length of the body, the wool, all those wiggles are drawn out of it. When I go into this exercise here, it's like my body is that piece of wool. And what I'm looking to do, the dropping of the body, is the movement in which the unwiggles unwiggle is that word, in which the unwiggles take place, is within the movement. They don't happen because I do something. They happen because I let go. The letting go is the dropping. And the joints, the muscles soften and the body realigns. Loosening and aligning is a really complex process in Tai Chi, and it's not about standing upright. It's not about standing upright. It's about releasing into your alignment. Key thing, keep the center of gravity over the feet, so the feet don't tighten and you don't rock to the balls, the heels, inside edges. First thing. For those with more experience in this exercise or in their practice, we can look at a deeper principle of synchronicity of change. What does that mean? When one thing changes, everything changes, but there's a relationship to that change. So one thing leads to something else. It tugs on it and pulls it. So for example, if I pull on my wrist, my arm straightens. I pull on my wrist, my whole arm straightens. This bit moves because of this, and it starts at exactly the same moment that I pull. It's not that my wrist goes out and then my arm follows. There's a relationship between the two. Like pulling on an elastic band, it affects the whole of the elastic band. 1 millimeter of pull is 1 millimeter of, or 1 degree or percentage of tension that generates throughout the band, or 1 degree of thinning, whatever you're looking at. Now in the body, biggest movement, the biggest change we can make is in the thighs. So let's train with the thighs changing. Use the thighs to push your feet into the ground. Use the thighs to soften, to take you down. Use the thigh muscles to change the knees. Change the thigh muscles to enable the knees to change. Remember, we're not lowering the body and raising the body. We're releasing the muscles in order for the body to drop. And it's the metaphor I like is that you're lying on an inflatable bed and you're taking stopper out. The bed supports you all the way down. You don't suddenly drop. And you don't lower yourself. You trust, or you allow the bed to soften and change, and your body goes down with it. This is what your leg muscles are doing. They are inflatable beds or tires. Take the stopper out, which is your mind telling your muscles to change, and be aware of the result. And keep that process going. Keep that process going all the way down. Now we want to pump it up. We're putting change into the muscles that makes the knees move. Down. What do you have to do to tell the muscles to change? It's like a hidden language, you know. It's like, I've got muscles here, but I don't even know how to make them work smoothly and consistently. They want to work in jerks, and they want to not work, and they want to stay holding. I have to learn the language. That means study, feel. This is what the exercises are about. Feel the body and explore. Let go. Feel your stability. Change the muscles smoothly. Lift the body up. We're talking then about synchronicity of change of muscles. If you have water in a pipe and it's blocked, this water can't get through, can't go anywhere because of the blocking here. We have to release the valve or the block and the water can flow. If I want my shoulders to drop, that's like the water wanting to go somewhere with gravity. But if there's a block, say in the middle back or the lower back, if there's a block here, how can it go anywhere? The lower back needs to change. Then the shoulders can move. See how they work together? This changing creates the space for this to drop into. For the lower back to change, it needs to go somewhere. The lower back has a block. If the legs are held, it can't rotate. The rotation in the lower back can't happen if the muscles are holding the pelvis in place. The pelvis needs to rotate around the head of the femur. The femur is the thigh bone with the ball socket. The pelvis needs to rotate around the thigh, top of the thigh bone. That can't happen if the muscles are holding it in place. So when the muscles soften, it gives freedom for the tail to drop. Soften the legs, frees the pelvis and the hips, frees the lower back, allows the pelvis to rotate, allows the shoulder blades to drop down the back, releasing the shoulder girdle, opening. Can you see the connection? Now what we have to do is understand what we're looking for, find the language to talk to our body, and use the exercise to develop that quality of control and presence of mind and body together. Now, the beauty of this exercise is you don't need half an hour. I'm doing the washing up, standing even with my feet parallel. Here I am, connected, connected. I'm in the queue in the supermarket. Standing like this, waiting 3, 4, 5 minutes, one leg, bored, posture, settling, waiting, coming up, sinking down. Anytime you've got to stand, you can use this standing quality exercise to develop, what would I say, develop? Because at the beginning I said you can do it quickly, you can put yourself into the posture. When you develop familiarity with your body quality, standing and alignment, what muscles need to be loose to allow the bones to align, to allow the forces to be clear through the body, to allow the shoulder girdle to open, to feel relaxed in our body. At the end of the day, I want to feel comfortable in my body. You know, body's an awkward thing, especially as you get older, you know, 40, 50, 60, 70, you feel different in your body. You want your body to feel more comfortable. When you're young, you don't have to think about it. It'll do whatever you want it to do within reason. You know, this age, you have to be a little bit more careful, spend a little bit more time, organize, exercise, look after it a little bit so that I can do the things I like to do. Next, the opening posture of the form is our standing exercise. We don't go up and down, we just simply go down. When we take a step to the side, this is what beginners do. They go down, they can't lift this leg off the ground. So in order to lift this leg, they put their weight over this one and then they can move. And then they're balanced, simply like a stack of books, balanced. Or they go down, they can't take this leg off the ground without collapsing. So they make this rigid. And when they're rigid, they can move because they use the rigidity of the muscles to move the leg as a brace rather than the ground as a brace to move the leg. Base is stability on the ground. We want to change that, of course. We want to change that. We don't want the tension in the body and we don't want to have to rely on static balance for stability. We want to find a buoyancy where the body's weight presses us onto the ground through alignment, through changing muscles, and that buoyancy gives us the stability we want, which is fluid and able to change, able to support the weight of the body without pushing back. I'm not holding my body up. I'm just allowing the weight of my body into the structure, and I'm melting the muscles around the structure. The structure supports me, the muscles melt, rather than the muscles support me. The muscles and bones combined support me. I want more of just the structure, and the muscles can melt away just like the shirt. It melts down and falls off. Wherever it's supported, it falls away. Same with the muscles. So first posture of the form, what we aim to do is keep our center of alignment in exactly the same place. So when I settle down, I'm not lowering myself. Well, I am going down, the knees are bending and I am going down, but in the going down, I'm beginning to find some stability. I'm changing my muscles in a way that allow the muscles, the bones to compress lightly until just the weight of the body supports me. When I'm in this condition, I don't need to move my center of gravity across to move my leg. The technique we use is to turn the foot on the ball until it's parallel to the front and slide it across one shoulder width. So the feet start out to the corners. I lift the back heel, the left heel, I turn the foot until the foot's 12 o'clock, and then I slide it out. In doing that, I don't want my center of gravity to come across, and I don't want to hold on in order to do it. And I don't want to grasp it, don't want to do it so quickly, and I don't want to be falling into it either. There's a lot of things not to do in Tai Chi. There's a lot of things not to do. But what that does, what the not to do does, is it gives me a very clear quality of what I'm actually looking for. And I can tell straight away through feeling the sensations in the body. Oh, I tightened up. Let's do it again. Oh, I fell. Oh, let's do it again. Oh, my center alignment moved across for stability. Oh, let's try and do it differently. You will fail many, many, many times, but it's not about getting it right or wrong. It's about learning. You know, if we were learning French, how many times are we going to pronounce things wrongly? If you thought you had to pronounce things correctly right at the beginning, you wouldn't get any beyond hello. You know, you wouldn't get beyond bonjour. You couldn't say it correctly. I can't say it correctly, but that's not what it's about. It's not about correctness. It's about engaging with your body and with your mind and body together. So at the beginning of the form, we start with our upright, released, connected quality. We bring our mind inside ourselves. We've experienced the changes we make. We settle down. We scan through the body, listening for any muscle groups we don't need to be holding on to. For my simple support in an upright position, what muscle groups need to be engaged and which muscle groups need to be softened? The ones that you don't need, give up. You will feel the weight of the body by the muscles that need to feel the weight of the body. The body needs to feel like it's hanging from a thread from the crown of the head. The feet need to feel relaxed and open and soft, spongy and supporting the weight that's dropping into them. when you're ready, you change the muscles in the thighs to allow the weight to drop through into the ground. The knees bend, the ankles soften, the hips and lower back change the whole time you're sinking until you go down an inch. Then, with the support that comes back up from the ground, you look at what you have to do, because there's another change that's going to take place now as you shift your weight to one leg. Your weight is in both legs. So you're going to shift your weight to the right leg. That involves generating a change in the musculature to support your weight fully in one side. So as you tip your weight to one side, feel what you need to do in the structures of the body to allow them to be organized to that support. Then you can pivot the foot. Once you've got that support, you can pivot the foot, push it across. And only now, when your center of gravity is stable and your foot is in place, move, turning and looking for the alignment over the left foot. You finish your turn when you arrive over your foot. This movement is sinking. Then lifting. Same as going down and coming up, but we're doing it onto one leg. We're going down slightly. And when we turn back, we're opening the knee. That turns the hips. And I'm back in the middle. Let's do it a few times together. When you start a movement, and you can prepare yourself while I'm talking this bit through, when you start a movement, you want the scales to be balanced. Don't just start from anywhere. Find the quality, posture, mind settled before you begin. Organize your body, organize your mind. Don't start until you're gathered. Wiki Jin, my teacher, says, gather your awareness within. Gather your awareness within yourself. Make changes to your structure through releasing muscles, and find what you're looking for so you're balanced and your scales are level and equal before you begin. Don't rush the process, because getting settled, learning how to get settled, learning how to come within is about 90% of the project of Tai Chi. Learning to be with ourselves is what it's about. So don't at the beginning start all over the place. Wait until the body settles. A stone thrown in water, don't go when the ripples are there. Wait until the ripples finish. Wait until you've got the quality you're looking for, or close to it, because sometimes it's difficult to relax. Sometimes there's a lot going on in our lives and it's just difficult to bring the mind and the body together. Bring them a little bit closer together. Bring them just a little bit closer together. And from there, it's possible to go deeper. Go to your best place today. Okay, we're not looking for perfection. We're looking for just a little bit of quietening down. Just a little bit of quietening down. If we're lucky, it's a big quietening down. We feel really comfortable and good. But even a small change is a really positive way to go. Small change of quietening down. Bring your awareness within yourself. Ensure the feet are soft and spongy, the outside edge engaged, the weight in the center. Raise the sternum, drop the chin. Feel the center of weight over the feet and the crown of the head. Soften any muscles you don't need. To bend the knees, soften the thighs. Let the joints change shape. When you've gone down an inch and you feel supported by the legs, tip the weight to the right foot. Doesn't mean tip the body, just pour the weight down the right leg. Feel the support that comes back immediately and look at how you have to relax onto the right leg to give you more support, the support you need to be able to pick up the left heel, pivot it, push it across. As soon as you start to move, the movement is generated by sinking and bending the knee. Like your body wants to fall this way, but it's a controlled falling with the knee bending, both hips turning, both legs sinking, moving across. You finish your turn as you arrive over the foot, facing 1 o'clock. The knee's going to open up, small push into the ground, body turns. As the body turns, the right leg pivots on the heel like a door closing and comes back parallel. At the same time, the hands open, the hands turn over. At the same time as your waist turns, the hands that were down by the sides turn open. Now my thumbs are on the side. This all finishes together. Final settling down. Let's do that a few times together. If you need to run through the sequence and remind yourself of what to do, then that's your practice. If you can drop straight into it and feel it as one, that becomes your practice. It depends on your experience of doing Tai Chi. Gather yourself within. Gather your awareness within yourself. Experience the movements and the process of change. Drawing down. Connect to the right foot. Let yourself stabilize. Pick up the heel. Push it across. As soon as you move, both legs are sinking. Both legs are sinking, your body's turning. Finishing the turning as you arrive over the foot. Turn back, open the knee, bring in the right toes, and the hands settle down. When you come up, the thigh muscles engage, the knees open, the hands come up. The legs are moving and opening, the knee is opening. The knee is opening the whole time. The arm comes up. The hands come up 1 fist apart, not quite the height of the shoulder, just about here. When they're here, the wrists stay still. The body sinks. The shoulders follow. The elbow drops and it draws the hand in. Everything finishes together. There's no tightening of the biceps to draw the arm closer to the body. There's no pulling in. As soon as you get to the top, the body starts to change downwards. Mind going down through the body. The shoulder follows that movement as the lower back opens. And the whole arm is in a releasing condition all the way down. It's not in a moving condition. It's in a sinking. It's like a stone going down through water. And with it, the hands are close together here. They end up further apart. So this is like a triangle. And to get the hands to that open up, the shoulders change. Because where the shoulder goes, the elbow goes. Because there's a bone here and there's a bone here, it's the same bone. So when the top of the bone moves, the elbow moves. Elbow can't really move by itself without this getting involved. So we control the elbow from here. And wherever the elbow goes, the forearm's going to go. It's not rocket science, but it takes some listening to. So to drop the arms, nothing to do with the hands. This is the hands moving with the shoulders staying still. Nothing to do with the hands. Shoulders drop. Shoulders release. Elbows, hands. Everything finishing together at the bottom. Go from the beginning, please. Gather your awareness within yourself. Experience the sensations, an intention to release, an intention to soften. Let the muscles fall off the bones. You may experience a widening of the back, a widening of the lower back. Feels like a rounding out of the back. You may experience more weight in your feet. You may experience a lengthening of your spine. These are good signs. Means your body is changing. Beginning of the form. Pass the weight to the right foot. Pick up the left heel, pivot on the ball, push the foot across. Sinking as you move to the left foot, turn. Maintain upright quality. Open the knee to turn back. And settle into both feet. Open the knees to come up. Knees are opening the whole time the hands are lifting. Keep the wrists in place. Sink the body, drop the shoulders. And as soon as the shoulders start to move, the wrists are drawn in. Sinking of the arms finishes at exactly the same time as the sinking of the body. Scan through, make sure there's no holding. Draw your awareness within yourself. Start with a level playing field, balanced scales. Come to your best state, your best quiet place. And be kind to yourself. Inner changes create outer movement. Settle onto the right. Sinking, knees bending, turn. Turn back. Settle down. Turn open the left foot, walk onto it, turning. Turn back, bring the right heel in, and raise yourself back to the beginning. This is the closing movement of the form. the finishing of the form. From parallel stance, turn open the foot, open the left foot, pivoting on the heel. Walk onto the left foot, right heel comes off the ground, facing the corner, all my weight's on the left. Turn to the front, pivoting on the ball of the right. Slide the right heel in, and then come up. Finishing of the form. Same place you started. As if nothing has happened, except we walk away feeling quietly settled, more in ourselves, and ready for the day. So this is a deeper dive into the quality of the first few moves of the form and some of the principles involved and how you can work with each one to develop it in your practice. So I hope it's been useful, and any questions, please be in touch. Thank you very much.